So today we're going to be learning composition of functions. Composition of functions simply means the combining of functions in a manner where the output from one function becomes the input of the next function. So this means f of g of x simply means how it sounds. F of g of x. And g of f of x simply means g of f of x. So, say we have a math problem that reads fx equals 5x minus 4 and g of x equals 4x squared minus 4. So, we have f of g of x. So, that's going to be f of g of x. So now we're going to plug in our f of x and our g of x. So f is going to be 4x squared minus 4 for g of x. So then f x is going to equal 5 4x squared minus 4 minus 4. So we plugged it in for the f of x, we plugged in for your x and your f of x. So, when we come down, we're going to have f of g of x equals 20x squared minus 20 minus 4. So then f of g of x would equal 20x squared minus 24. And that would be your answer for f of g of x. So moving on to b, now we're going to switch it up, and instead of doing f of g of x, we're going to do g of f of x. So this time it's going to be g of f of x. So then we're going to plug in once again, and it's going to be g of x, which is 5x minus 4, which is f of x. And then we're going to plug in our g of x. So 5x minus 4 squared minus 4. So then g of f of x equals 100x squared minus 160x plus 64 minus 4. So then g of f of x equals 100x squared minus 160x plus 60. And that is your answer for g of f of x when you plug in. So now we're going to switch it up and use it, instead of using x, we're actually going to use a number. Now we're going to move on to c, where we have f of g of negative 2. So then our g of x is going to be 4 is 2, and we've got to do our squared, minus 4. So g of x equals 4 times 4 minus 4. So g of x equals 12. So then we got to plug in. So f of g of x equals 5 times 12 minus 4. So then f of g of x equals 60 minus 4, and then f of g of x equals 56. So 56 is our answer for f of g minus 2. So now we're moving on to the last one, which is g of f of negative 2. So g of f of negative 2. So we're going to plug in. So we're going to do our f first, which is 5 negative 2 for x minus 4. So then our fx will equal negative 10 minus 4 and our f of x will equal negative 14. So we're going to plug that in to our g of f of x, which is going to equal 4. We're going to take our negative 14 and plug it in, squared minus 4, which we're plugging it into our equation. So then g of f of x is going to equal 4 times negative 14 squared is 196 minus 4. So then whenever we multiply 4 times 196, we get 784 minus 4. And then g of f of x equals 780. And that's our last answer for g of f of negative 2.